Okay, I hope you can hear me now, guys. Lots of tech issues this morning. As per usual, that tends to happen on an early morning webinar. But we've got a few people in here. Thank you for watching. I'll just make sure I get myself organized. I'll put that here, I think I'll be better today. Thanks, Kylie. Yeah, I'm glad I got sorted too. It's been one of those mornings, but anyway, it's all good. So I hope you enjoy this. I really believe that when we're in business, that it's really, really important to realize that you are not separate from your business when it comes to, or even if it's just your career, you are not separate. You know, the emotions that you feel, the emotions that you bring to your business are going to affect how you perform in that particular business. And it's very important that people actually realize this, because people tend to think or believe that they are completely separated and their business is their business and their personal is their personal, but that is not so. We tend to be quite intertangled in all areas of our life. So in order to be able to create the business that you want, you also need to be able to have a you know, pretty much an emotional flow personally that is conducive to allowing you to produce you know, you can make the right decisions, be clear-headed, all those sorts of things. So I'm going to bring up the PowerPoint. So just bear with me, guys. I think it's time for a new computer, actually, and a new laptop. Okay, and I'm going to start the slideshow so you don't have to see all the other slides as we go through. And the other thing, I'm starting to master this. I'm going to have my chat box, hopefully it'll come up. I'd like my chat box open. Oh, no, it's not letting me. So guys, please do feel free to pop anything in the chats. I'll try and have a look. It's not, for some reason it is not, let me see, it's just not letting me bring it up. Okay, it is what it is. Anyway, I can answer absolutely answer all your questions at the end. And anyone who is watching on Facebook, if you want to jump on, the registration link is on Facebook, please jump on. That way you can get to keep this recording, and also to you'll be able to see the PowerPoints. Okay, so how to embrace your emotions to create more flow in your business and life. And as I explained, you know, to really be able to get flow into your business, you really need to bring flow into your life first. It is not separated. These things are together. So first of all, let's have a look. What are emotions? So what are they? And I got this straight from Wikipedia. I thought it'd be interesting to read what the definition is. Emotions are biological states associated with the nervous system brought on by neurophysiological changes variously associated with thoughts, feelings, behavior, responses, and a degree of pleasure or displeasure. There is actually currently no scientific consensus of what an emotion is. So I guess from my point of view, emotion to me is a physical response in your body. It is, what happens is we have a thought, and that thought creates a biochemical change within your body. So you have an actual physical response in your body. And these could be pleasurable or they could be displeasurable. And usually the way we can indicate these physical responses is, especially the ones which I call the more fight type physical responses, or the more high energy physical responses, is that you get excited or you get angry and your heart starts to beat. Whereas we've got some that are a little bit more low energy, and that's, you know, you get sad and you just retreat, and you'll find that you actually physically or in a physiological sense actually will hold that emotion or show that emotion, so to speak. So what I mean by that is, you know, if you're angry, you tend to stand and, whereas if you're sad, you tend to physiologically retreat. Okay, so we actually show it in our body. We not only feel it, but we can show it in our body. And often people will look at you and say, "You okay? You don't look right." And you might not have noticed, but it's your behavior that sometimes, or your physiology that sometimes can say whether you are, you know, in a good mood or in a bad mood. So I hope that makes sense, guys. Okay, so let's move on. So I really wanted to put this in because a lot of people don't know what an emotion is, and they tend to get stuck. This is what happens with my clients all the time. They don't know the difference between a state of being, a state of mind, and an actual emotion. Emotion is something felt in the body. You can feel it. Whereas a state, and one of the states that I constantly use here is people say, "I want to be happy." Happiness is a state of mind. In other words, you can be happy depending on your thought. So if I have, and we see this through the cup half full, half empty. So if you look at your cup half empty, that's a thought. Okay, so if you look at the cup as being half full, that's again a thought. So this is a great representation of what an emotion is. This is the emotion wheel. And anything that doesn't sort of fit into this, and there's a few more that you could slot in here, or, you know, a few little different ones that, you know, could mean the same thing to you. But a state and an emotion are very different. So really important that you understand that a state, a feeling of a state, is not necessarily an emotion. So keep this wheel with you, and hopefully that makes sense. Just trying to work out what's going on Facebook. But anyway, so that's why I wanted to pop that in for you guys. Okay. So the first thing I want to talk about is there is no such thing as a bad emotion. There is absolutely not. Our emotions are absolutely imperative to who we are. We are humans. We feel emotions. Our emotions are like a barometer, our body's barometer to tell us that something's right or wrong. So if you feel what people consider to be a bad emotion, it's not the emotion that's bad. For instance, if you get angry, possibly the anger is coming from someone, how can I put this? Someone crossing your boundaries. So there is no such thing as bad emotions. If we feel them from the moment we're born. I mean, I've got 3 grandkids and I saw them from when they were little getting angry and getting sad. So there's no such thing as a bad emotion. It is your reaction to a situation and allowing the emotion to control you what makes it bad. The emotion itself is not bad. And like I said, all emotions are there because they want you to pay attention. They want you to pay attention to whatever's going on around you, that something's not quite right. And when we pay attention, it's not to judge and say, "I shouldn't feel that," because I hear that all the time. But it's just to say, you know, what's the purpose for me feeling this emotion and what's actually going on? And then going a little bit deeper and having a look what's underlying that emotion. Okay. So as I said before, they are only a problem if you react. If you react, if you allow the emotion to rule you and you have an explosive anger burst, or you get so sad that you don't get out of bed. And guys, I know how both these spectrums, I've gone through them. This is something that I used to, deal with all the time. I was diagnosed, I was diagnosed with chronic PTSD and depression for many, many, many years. So I know what it's like to be on a high and a low. So, you know, it's not the emotion itself, it's the way we react to it. So if you begin to understand what your emotions are trying to tell you, you will stop reacting and begin to respond to them, which is a much healthier way to do it. Okay. So just like I was saying, emotions need to be expressed and felt. So if one of the problems that happens when we feel an emotion is we don't know how to express it in a healthy way. So the best way to be able to express an emotion, so let's say someone does something and you're really cross at them, and so you're angry, rather than just exploding at them, which is a reaction, is you need to go back and feel the emotion, go underneath the emotion, understand what it is, what's the thought processes that you're having, or as Brené Brown always says, what's the story you're telling yourself? And when you understand that, you need to ask yourself, is this true? Is the emotion true? Is the thought that I'm having true? Or is it just a reaction to something else? And then you can express it, but do not suppress. There's nothing worse, and I've seen this for years and years, of people who suppress emotions because they think they should. They suppress emotions because they think they're bad. And one of the best stories I have here is a gentleman who was in a workplace and was being used and abused by his employer, where he was not getting paid properly, he was not getting paid his superannuation. But because he had grown up with a really angry dad, thought that if he expressed that he was not happy with what was going on in the workplace, that he would be like his dad. And of course, what ended up happening was, because he repressed it, one day it just went kaboom. So really, really important that you understand that you need, the idea here is to understand the process behind why you're feeling that emotion. It's not to judge it. It's not to say it's right. It's not to say it's wrong. It's to understand the feeling behind it, and then understanding, is that real? That thought process that has created that feeling, is it real? And then express it in a healthy, calm way. And usually the other thing I say to my clients, we do a lot of heart coherent breathing now, but what I usually say is breathe to 10 and then talk. Don't just go bang, because you're reacting to the chemical response of the emotion. So breathe to 10. By the time you breathe to 10, hopefully you've calmed down and your thoughts have calmed down. You've activated the frontal neocortex of your brain again, and you're being able to think a little bit more logically about it. So here's some of the questions for you guys that are registered for this, and you can go back and have a look at these or write these down. What's the purpose of the emotion? There's always a purpose for it. It doesn't just happen for no reason. So what is the purpose of the emotion? What's the thought that created that emotion? Is that thought real? So is it real? So whatever it is that you've come up with, is it real? Is it an assumption? Or is it just something you've made up in your head? Is it real? Is it factual? Really important. This is where a lot of people get unstuck, where they create assumptions in their head. So just ask yourself, is it real? And there's nothing wrong with that, guys. This is all pretty normal. We get led to believe that all these sorts of things, there's something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. This is quite normal. Okay. So the next thing that you need to be is to be true to you. Okay, so you need to be authentic. You need to keep it authentic. You need to be able to say, it's okay to be me, regardless of what everyone says around you. It's important that you feel what you feel, and it's okay. And first of all, you don't judge yourself, and you don't allow other people to judge you either. One of the worst things that I've seen when it comes to confrontation or anything like that, or people saying, you know, this has happened, or I feel like this, people saying, oh, that's stupid, you shouldn't feel like that. No, you should. It is what you feel. And really, when you are speaking to someone, it shows a lack of empathy. It shows a lack of understanding if someone says, no, you shouldn't feel like that. You are you, and you are beautiful the way you are. And so it's okay to feel that emotion. It's okay. So allow yourself to be true to you. Okay? One of the things that you need to ask, though, is the emotion mine? And what do I mean by that? Allow yourself, when you feel something, again, it goes back to the thought process, and you need to ask yourself, is the emotion my emotion? Am I actually feeling this? Or is it something that I think I should feel? Or someone else has told me, my limiting beliefs, that I should feel like this? Because sometimes, you know what, situations happen, and really it doesn't bother us, but it's other people that have installed in us, or I should say that we've allowed ourselves to install from other people, beliefs that we need to react or not react in a certain way. And again, going back, because I've got so many clients that I've seen, you know, this goes back to when I work with couples where one of the partners is cheated, and everyone around them has told the other partner, the one that's not the cheater, that they should leave their partner and they should be feeling this and they should be feeling that. Well, ask yourself, is it what I really feel? Because you should be feeling what you're feeling, and it's okay. So make sure that the emotion is yours. Is it? And it's not how others expect you to feel. It's not how you think you should feel either. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. I say that all the time. What does that mean? Who says that you should feel a certain way? You feel what you feel, and it's really important to get back into feeling what is true for you. Okay. The other thing here is don't hide your shadow. Okay. What happens is the parts of us that we don't like is what we call our shadow. And when we hide our shadow, we tend to resist the true parts of ourselves. And this is where you will find that they will come up whether you like them or not. So to give you an example of that, imagine your emotion being a beach ball. Okay, and imagine, you know, the iceberg, and the emotions sit underneath the water of the iceberg. Imagine you holding that beach ball under the water. Eventually, your arms will get tired and that beach ball will come up and hit you in the face. So accept every part of who you are. There's no such thing as good or bad. Like I said, there is no part of you that is bad. You are exactly who you are, and it is the way you react to something that could have bad consequences, but you are not bad, and all emotions are okay. And it is okay for you to say, you know what, I get angry at these things. I'm a jealous person. It's okay. What's not okay is to let that fester or to not go deeper so that you don't become reactive, but to understand these parts of you and who you are, and not to push them away. So don't repress your feelings. You can't be perfect all the time. So this is another thing where we're expected from when we're children to be absolutely perfect. Don't do this, don't do that. We cannot be perfect all the time, and it is okay. Everyone has feelings, and it's okay as well. And remember that everyone's feelings are different, and the way you respond to a situation is completely different to how someone else would. And the reason for that is because we have different filtering systems. That's a completely another topic in itself. But if you look at the NLP communication model, you will understand that you cannot filter a situation exactly like someone else. So everyone feels, and it's okay, and you can feel exactly the way you want to. Okay, so here are 5 steps, my favorite steps to keep you at ease, to help you stay at ease. Step 1, accept that all emotions are okay. They're okay. It doesn't matter. Acknowledge the emotion and the feeling. Understand what it is and understand where it's coming from, because it's okay. Allow yourself to feel it. Allow yourself to actually, if you have an emotion that you're struggling with, you know, the quicker you actually embody that emotion and allow yourself to feel it in your body and allow yourself to sit there and say, what's this about? Why am I feeling this? You know, what will happen there is that it will actually leave you fairly quickly because you will understand it. You will get a different perspective on that emotion. Listen to your body. How many times, and I've done this, guys, too, how many times do you have a pang or a pain or a twitch in your body, or you start to feel, you know, like you can't breathe or something like that, and you don't listen to it? Your body is your barometer. So if your body wants you to listen to it because there's an emotion that you're feeling that you have to look at or express, you need to listen to your body because your body has wisdom to share. And again, in NLP training, in Master Practitioner, we do something called the pain paradigm, which is all about trapped emotion in your body. And I have worked with so many clients with this, that the minute you start to listen to your body and you acknowledge the trapped emotion that is inside your body, the pain goes like that. So really interesting to, you know, concept, but it really does work, okay? Get help if this becomes too much. We tend to not ask for help, but guys, if this really becomes too much for you, and if you're constantly reacting to your emotions, get help. Reach out to someone who can help you deal with what's going on. And, you know, in getting help, there's lots of things that you can do, because you can actually go out and just even ring a friend. If that friend is someone, you know, who is not going to sit there and give you their opinions and their advice, okay? It takes time, so be patient. The other thing I want to add in here too, guys, is that if you do things like meditation, going for walks, talking to someone, journaling, that will help you express what's actually going on underneath as well. So if you find that you're getting emotions coming up all the time, accept that it's okay. Allow yourself to feel it. And a healthy way that you can feel it is through the forms of journaling, meditation, walking, all those sorts of things. Walking in nature is absolutely brilliant. Breathing, whatever works for you. Make sure you listen to your body. Don't push away any emotions that might be coming up. Get help if you're stuck, and remember to be patient. It's okay. And nobody says that you need to get over something in a certain amount of time. As long as sometimes it's a process, but the more you do this, the actual quicker you'll be able to turn the process around. The quicker you accept your emotions, the quicker your unconscious mind gets used to doing this, and the quicker you'll be able to push through the emotions and be able to acknowledge. It's all about acknowledging what it's about, okay? So here's some of the ways I said we can do these things. So we can meditate, go to the gym, go for a walk, journal, breathe. I love breathing. Stopping and just taking some nice big deep breaths into the heart. There is actually scientific proof of what that does for your body and your system, and being able to calm you down very, very quickly. Okay, so that's it for me this morning, guys. I'm going to come on the chat, but thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being on Facebook as well. I'm just going, there is a couple of comments on Facebook, so I'm going to check them. And I'm also going to jump on and have a look at the chats here on the webinar. But you can find me on Facebook, Instagram and LinkedIn, all under my name, Sandra Madaffrey. And if anyone needs any help, please reach out. Anyone else too, just wanted to mention that next week, starting on Monday, I am actually doing a 7-day challenge in my Abundance Activator group. So reach out if you want to do that, which is creating an intentional business. So we're going to go through the 7 steps of living with intention on creating your business. So this is going to be something new for me because I haven't actually ran the 7 steps like that, but I'm really excited to do that. So jump, if that's something that interests you, please let me know. If not, I look forward to seeing you next week with another topic. I don't know what's going on with my Facebook. Sorry guys, I know there's a few of you on there, but for some reason I cannot see the comments and I don't know why. Technology, all good. Doesn't matter, but I'm going to go in and stop sharing now to my group here on the webinar and have a look at your comments. Okay. You love this. Oh, thank you, Kylie. I'm glad you love it. Beautiful, brilliant, absolute gold and wisdom shared today. Thank you. It's my pleasure to everyone. That's part of what I want to do. I decided 8 years ago when I was trying to find help that I would always be there for people who needed help and try and give as much as I possibly can in value and to help other people know that you don't have to stay where you are. I have been breathing and focusing on happy thoughts. Been amazing. Fantastic. That's great to know. Apologies for the people that have commented on Facebook. Please register if you want to get this the recording and if you want to get the PowerPoint that I just did. If not, guys, I'll see you next week. If this is an ongoing Monday morning webinar at 10 a.m, lots of gold. I've got something already set for next week, but I've got something really interesting that came up this week that I'm going to probably do the week after. So jump on and register so that way you just get the emails. I'll make sure that I send you a copy of the webinar and you don't miss out. But there's lots of interesting things. If this is the first time you watch, just let me know and I can send you a copy of all the other ones that we have done up until now. Okay, guys, that's it for me. Have a great, great week. And I look forward to seeing everyone on Monday next week. If not, I've got lots of lives and things planned this week. I've not that I've slowed down, I've taken things a little bit slower this week, so I've got more time and scheduled a few lives and things, so I look forward to doing that. Okay guys, thank you for watching. You will receive the link to this webinar if you've registered very shortly. Thanks again. Bye for now.